Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chtib and Zhang show, episode 53. You guessed it. In today's video, we will be talking about NFL Week 18. The final week of the NFL regular season comes to a close. There's going to be a lot of playoff implications, a lot of division seeding implications, wild card seeding implications. So we included all the games that had implications, left out all the garbage, the useless stuff. Washington, Minnesota, Chicago, the Giants, more. Eric Steelers were pretty close to being in that group as well. But they're still in the hunt. But as always, let's get to the sponsor of this video, Hot Streak Fantasy, the best in-play fantasy app on the market. Pick 2 to 3 players in the NFL, NBA. Watch your favorite teams make you some money. Hot Streak is matching your initial deposit as a bonus when you use promo code Hot Sauce. So get Hot Streak Fantasy app now. We'll say it every week. Not too many weeks left in the NFL to go. So if you want to start betting, do it now. Playoffs starting soon. So get on that quick, easy way to gamble, make money. Bets pop up every minute. It's very fast. And yeah, so make sure to download that on the App Store. But nevertheless, let's roll it. Welcome back to the Chtib and Zhang show, episode 53. Eric, like we mentioned, it's the end of the NFL season, week 18 coming up. Like we mentioned, a lot of playoff implications, teams trying to make the playoffs, teams trying to clinch specific seeds, division titles, wild card playoff positions. So, like I said before, included all those games that, even if one opponent of that matchup has an implication, I put it in. I left out all the other games that were useless. That means like Minnesota versus the Bears, useless. The Giants versus Washington, useless. I forget. There was, I think, another one, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, so let's go over that. And we will also be looking at UFC Vegas 45, Qatar versus Giga. Shikenze, that's going to be January 15th. The reason we're going on it a little bit early is because next week will be the division playoff games, and we want to, have the whole episode on that. So we include UFC in this one alongside some meaningful games. Man, Eric, what a week 17 in the NFL. Yeah. Steelers win big. Bengals win big. And yeah, a lot of things went down. Some teams got eliminated. Some teams clinched some spots, some division titles. And let's go through week 18 now to see what other teams have to clinch and what they have to do to get in, or vice versa for their opponents. So, Eric, let's start with the Saturday games. Obviously, no Monday games this week. It's Saturday, Sunday. And Saturday, we get a good one off the bat, Eric. We get the Chiefs. Well, not so much a good one, unless you're a Chiefs fan. We get the Chiefs versus the Broncos. Chiefs favorites under 9 as the point spread, Eric. This is a game the Chiefs want to win as they have a chance at the number 1 seed in the AFC. As we know, number 1 seeds in each conference get the first round bye. Right now, Titans are holding on to that because, Eric, if you didn't know, the Chiefs just last week or week 17 lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, so that hurt their chances again, number 1. But the Chiefs win versus the Broncos, and the Titans lose their matchup, Eric. The Chiefs will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Under 9 favorites. I mean, Eric, the Broncos are out of the playoffs. They're just fighting for their head coach at this point. Fighting, for next year. This is just a throwaway game at this point. So I expect the Chiefs to cover. I expect the Chiefs to hammer that. Even though they're on the away team, like you saw the Chiefs in Cincy, they put up 31 points. They're still going to be there. It's not going to be so much of a home game for the Broncos. The question is, Eric, are the Chiefs going to rest starters? How many starters will they rest? Will that inflict in the point spread and the covering? We don't know. Doesn't matter even if they bench Patty Mahomes maybe for the second half. If they bench a starter, I still think the Chiefs, with the firepower they have, will cover. They'll beat the Broncos, and then hopefully pray for the Titans to lose so they can be number 1 seed. But yeah, Chiefs with the number 1 seed on the line. Don't think Andy Reid is going to want to just let that slip from his fingers. So I got the Chiefs to cover versus Broncos in the Saturday matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. especially with Andy Reid, there's no way Andy Reid he's probably gonna sit some people, but there's no way he's gonna let the team lose like that. Even though the chances of them getting that first seed is not that high, right? Because we'll talk about it later, but the Titans have a pretty favorable matchup. But yeah, so the Chiefs. It's kind of crazy that we got to this point where Titans are the one that can they're favorites to win it, right? So
I mean, it wasn't so surprising. I mean, when we did our AFC predictions, I think beginning of the season, I think we both had Tennessee winning the division. So and then at that point, it's a race for the top seed. Who's gonna get it? It was either the Chiefs, Titans, AFC. Like who do we have? Who do we have? We had Chiefs up there winning the division. Titans Chiefs. I think I had winning conference. Titans winning their division.
We had Bills too.
Oh yeah, the Bills are up there too. That's true. Yeah, so I guess you can make a case for the Titans.
No, but no, Bills I'm saying during the season when Derrick Henry got injured and AJ Brown, we're like, okay, Tennessee, they're not gonna do, and then after they started losing some bag, and then they just started they might get that bye. So but for this game, I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Pretty much a guarantee, 90% sure they're gonna win. Unless Broncos it could happen. Broncos could just outplay them if Chiefs they get too comfortable, right? Because realistically, because their game is gonna be before the Titans game, so they don't know if the Titans are gonna win or lose. But in this situation, you have you gotta do everything you can to win, right? You don't want to give it up to chance, right? So I have the Chiefs winning for this one.
Why don't you take the next game since you did look at some stuff? Why don't you break down Cowboys Eagles for us? Because Cowboys coming off a loss to the Cardinals, big win for the Cards, by the way. Eagles coming off a win over Washington, 20-16. This is big implications for the Eagles, Eric. Too, they're trying to clinch down a wild card spot. As we know, Cowboys have already won the NFC East, and so Eagles trying to win, trying to get a wild card spot.
Wait, I thought Eagles already clinched the playoffs. No, did they not?
I'm pretty
sure I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, they might have clinched. They're playing for wild card seeding. So they're third in the wild card right now, tied with 49ers. If the 49ers lose, Eagles win. They're second. 49ers drop to third.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember I was reading up on some stuff, and there's that X beside the Eagles.
Yeah. So Eagles are they're clinched. They're in the playoffs. It's just seeding now from third to second in the wild card.
But who would have thought the Eagles would have clinched? That's kind of crazy to think because I'm pretty sure
the NFC especially.
So in the NFC, it's literally it's up to, I think the only team that hasn't clinched yet is the 49ers. It's either them or the Saints, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only position that's left at that point. Now I think it's just seeding in the wild card. But hey, this is a big game for I think Cowboys.
I mean, it's a big game for both.
Yeah, a big game for both. But hey, you want to win this game before you go into the playoffs. This is the big game to win. Hey, Philly proved a lot of people wrong. They made the playoffs, which is kind of crazy. But for this game, I just think Dallas, this is the division. I don't think they're going to lose to Philly. But Philly, they're going to come out. They're going to want this win, right? So they're not going to go easy. So I think Dallas would. What happened? Gallup got injured though.
Michael Gallup's out for the season. I'm pretty sure
he's out for the season. Hey, he's an underrated player on the team, right?
Yeah, it's a big loss.
Big loss, but hey, no, they still have
for the Eagles, right?
Though. Yeah, they still have CD and they still have Amari, and so they'll be fine. They'll be fine on that end. So, but in this game, I have Dallas winning, not comfortably, but it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys have Jalen Hurts' number basically the past two times they faced them. They've beaten them. Division opponent. It is in Philly. Eagles do have home field, but this week, listen, you might say this is more of an important game for the Eagles because of the seeding implications, and Cowboys aren't really moving anywhere, and they've already won the division. But honestly, I think this is a more important week for the Cowboys because Cowboys, listen, they're 11-5. They're trying to win the Super Bowl clearly, and they have a lot of naysayers and a lot of people over the years. We can't get it done and blah blah blah. And they fired Jason Garrett, and well, now the Cowboys are here. The offense looked, a little slow against the Cardinals. But anyway, this is a week for the Cowboys to really beat down on the Eagles, get their offense rolling into next week for their big playoff matchup. Fourth right now in the NFC. Yeah, I think this is an important week for the Cowboys, for everyone, for CD, for Amari, for the defense, the offensive line too. Just get things going. Who knows who they're going to rest? Mike McCarthy. If Dak sits for the second half, if a wide receiver comes out, who knows? Still think they're going to beat the Eagles, and they really got to get the out. This is a prep week for them. Prep week going into playoffs. So if they can have a good offensive game, then it'd be a good transition into the division matchup or playoff matchup. So yeah, big week for the Dallas Cowboys. Get their offense rolling. Now that Michael Gallup's out, that's a big loss, but you got to keep going now. You got to get the offense going. But yeah, Colts versus Jags. Colts coming off a loss to the Raiders. Eric took the Raiders in that game. Jags going off a blowout versus the Pats, 10-50. This has some seeding in the AFC wildcard implications, Eric, for the Indianapolis Colts. As we know, the Colts sit. Where do they sit, Eric? The Colts sit second in the wild cards right now. So if the Colts win, Eric, they beat the Jags. The Patriots lose, then the Colts can become the number one seed in the wild card spots. That's the best they can finish, because the Patriots, as we know, they're first. They're 10-6. Colts are 9-7, but the Colts have beaten the Patriots, Eric. So that means that if the Colts win, they're 10-7. Pats are 10-7. They get the head-to-head, and then the Colts will jump the Pats, and they'll finish first. They're gonna win this game. The Colts. They might even cover 15.5 points. I mean, that's a big cover, but man, the Jags, they currently hold the first overall pick, Eric. It's the last week of the NFL. If you win, if you're the Jaguars and you win and the Lions lose, you no longer have the first overall pick. So there's no point in trying to put that at risk. The management knows, ownership knows, just go out, lose, tank, whatever, do what you got to do. Make sure you don't win the game. I think that's their game plan. So I think it's a lock for the Colts. Is it a cover lock? Not sure. 15.5, more than 2 touchdowns, Eric. If the Colts sit anybody, I could see the Jags scoring a late touchdown, ruining it. So I don't know. It's a hard bet to cover because the Colts are not in. Are they locked in? I don't think they are.
No, they're not locked in.
So they might. Yeah, they probably won't bench anyone then. So yeah. I'll take the Colts to cover though. 15.5. More than 2 touchdowns, Eric. I won't take the Colts cover. I won't.
Okay, fair.
I won't.
Okay, bro. This game.
I don't know. What do you have? Do you have them covering, beating them more than 15.5 points?
I have Indiana losing, man. No, I'm playing. I need them to lose. I'm not lying.
That's true. Yeah.
Because so what's
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But basically, I need Indiana to lose.
Yeah.
It's the only way. If Indiana wins this game, we're out 100%.
Yeah.
So, Indiana, I hope the Jazz come to play.
You hope the Jags come to play. That's hilarious being a Steelers fan, right? I love it because we're going to get to the Steelers if people don't know. Well, Eric just mentioned it, but there's more implications to that.
Yeah. So basically, Indiana, they lost their game last week, right?
Yeah, to the Raiders.
Yeah, so that was a huge that was a brutal loss.
Brutal loss, big win for the Raiders.
Exactly. So that loss was kind of tough for them, I'm not gonna lie, but they should win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say they're gonna lose. I hope they lose, but they most likely will cover too.
Oh yeah, you think they're gonna beat them by 2 touchdowns, more than 2 touchdowns, 15.5?
Okay, actually maybe not. Okay, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about Indiana right now because there's too much bias going on in my head. Anything I say is meaningless. So, yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, Jags haven't been good. Jonathan Taylor could put a stamp on his MVP season right now. If he feels like he wants to win it, he can go out and have a massive game against the Jags. It would be the team to do it against, to have a big game for sure for Jonathan Taylor. So that's why I think Colts, their run game has been way too dangerous right now.
For sure.
And for a team like the Jags, not going to look good.
I'm interested to see because usually running backs in playoffs, it's not that they don't do as well, but like obviously like we saw Derrick Henry if you have all your focus on, because that's what happens in playoffs, like you have all your focus on one player, right?
Oh yeah.
And
for sure.
I just want to see what he can do you know what I mean? Like especially Jonathan Taylor.
Wentz hasn't been good, so
exactly. So they know they're gonna run through him. Like they're gonna run the ball every time the Colts. Well, most of the time, or like they're gonna throw
most of the time,
right? So I want to see if he can do what Derrick Henry did in the playoffs. 2 years ago now? just carry the ball and bring them. But I doubt it's gonna happen. But hey, Jonathan Taylor can do it. He can do it. Because he's proved a lot.
It's tough. It's tough. Like you're talking about, like the Colts, in the playoffs, it is going to be tough for them. They're a good team, but they're kind of they have one identity to their team, and it's the run. That they made that clear with Jonathan Taylor. Carson Wentz has been so inconsistent this season. A little better going down here near the end of the half or near the last stretch of the season, but they're going to run the ball. Teams will know that. Teams will know how. But Jonathan Taylor, like that hasn't stopped Jonathan Taylor at all this season. Like teams know, okay, Jonathan Taylor's having a great season. They're going to want to run the ball, but he's torched some defenses already.
Some good defenses too.
And some good defenses. It's like Kansas City almost. Kansas City. They have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to get the most receptions in the game. Yet they still do it. Yet Tyreek gets these 70, 50, 60-yard passes down the field. They find ways to get their O-line's pretty good too, the Colts. So make those big gaps for them. But Colts are going to win, and this is going to be going into the next game, the next transition. Steelers versus Ravens, Eric, division matchup. Talking about Steelers, Lamar Jackson, question mark for the game, hasn't been healthy. Tyler Huntley is not expected to start, is in line to start if Lamar is injured. This will be a low-scoring affair because Steelers offense hasn't done anything. Ravens injury riddled. Eric, for the Steelers, this is what you were mentioning. For the Steelers to make it into the NFC or AFC wild card, they got to win their last two games, and they play tonight versus the Broncos, not the Broncos, the Browns. So they got to beat the Browns. They got to beat the Browns. They got to beat the Ravens, and the Jags need to beat the Colts.
So pretty unlikely. But the Ravens have almost no chance of making the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
The Ravens, to get into the playoffs, the Browns have to lose one of their two games here. So either the Steelers or or against the Bengals they play. So Browns have to lose one of those two games. Colts lose to the Jags as well. Dolphins to tie or lose to the Pats, and Chargers to lose versus the Raiders.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Because Chargers and Raiders, well, actually, no, that's the last game, but that's a big game. There's a lot of playoff implications. But basically, Steelers, Ravens, Eric, could be Big Ben's last game as a Steeler in the NFL in general. He's might probably retire after this season.
Yeah.
So, Eric, for my prediction, I'm going to take the Steelers, the away team in Baltimore, because I believe I don't know if Lamar Jackson's healthy. If he isn't healthy, it's a Steelers lock. Big Ben last game, he's not going to want to lose to a division opponent. That's for sure.
Exactly.
But if Lamar Jackson is healthy, I'm going to take the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Ravens because the Steelers' offense has just been way too bad. And at least with Lamar in, the Ravens can put up some points, and that might leave the Steelers trailing. Because their defense is usually their strong point. Hasn't been that great this season, Eric. Unfortunately, obviously, we know that Pittsburgh, season analysis will happen at another episode.
Yeah.
But if Lamar's healthy, I'm taking the Ravens. If not, this is Big Ben's last game to lose, man.
Okay. No, that's fair. Well, first of all, for today's game, by the time this video comes out, hopefully Steelers won their game because that means there's going to be more hype going into the last game of the season, right? And the Jaguars game versus the Colts is actually happening at the same time as the Steelers game. They're both at 1:00. So hopefully some miracle can happen. We win today. And then on Sunday, somehow Jags decide to beat the Colts. And then what happened? Was it Buffalo? Yeah, when Buffalo was watching Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati beat the oh my god, what team was that again?
I think Cincinnati, it was Minnesota. No, Ravens. It was Ravens.
It was the Ravens.
And then Andy Dalton threw it to Tyler Boyd, and then hopefully a moment like that happens. I'm hoping for it. I hope right now what I'm saying is foreshadowing something. But
they both play at 1:00, so I mean the games will finish at the end of the time. Well, they're only really gonna. No. They won't be in the locker room, but on the sidelines, they'll kind of be like, "Okay, well, what's the score? Blah blah blah." They'll be chiming in.
I hope something like that happens.
But Eric, let's not even talk about making the playoffs. Let's look at the Steelers' record. Yes. No. Yes. Let's look at the Steelers' record: 7-7-1. If they lose, they're 7-8-1 this week against the Browns. And if they lose, oh my god, this could be potentially Mike Tomlin's first season under 500, Eric. If they lose against the Browns, it'll be 7-8-1. But then if they win their last game, they're 8.
Yeah. So they just got to win one of 2 games, right? That's all they got to do.
Yeah.
They got to win one of the next 2 games. I think it's going to happen. I think they can probably win both games.
They have to.
I've been saying that, but we've been losing
badly. So, offense has been a no-show.
Yeah. So, but I think these last 2 games, Big Ben, he knows it's gonna be his last few games. Obviously, no one wants to retire on a loss, right? And it wouldn't be that bad to not make the playoffs and then retire on a win, right? That would not be the worst case. Big Ben's obviously now even last year was good. It was just this year. It's been the first year where he's been bad, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he had COVID. Who knows what that did to him? His age, his physicality. He looks out of shape, but he's always looked out of shape. He's always looked out. But he looks very bad though. He has looked terrible this season, just throwing the ball.
Because don't forget, last year he was actually really good. Don't forget,
they went 11-0.
Yeah. So this year is the first season he's been bad, and people get to roast him because he's actually bad this year. But don't forget, he's had an amazing career. Hall of Fame, maybe very close. I put most likely because the thing is, people don't even have Eli Manning making a lot of people don't have Eli Manning making the Hall of Fame. So I think Big Ben's a notch above maybe, but definitely very close. Don't forget he has 2 chips, made the Super Bowl 3 times. Always on playoff teams most of the seasons. Actually, almost every season except this year, I think. I don't know. Because statistically, his stats probably he's between he has the stats that Phillip Rivers has, and Phillip Rivers is borderline Hall of Fame too. But Phillip Rivers doesn't have the Super Bowls like Eli.
I don't know how Eli won't get in. That's ridiculous.
I saw something like that.
Only few people have had such success against Tom Brady, and Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl wins over Tom. I mean, say what you want about whatever player versus player, that doesn't get you into the Hall. But I just find it funny that the guy, Tom Brady's kryptonite is literally Eli Manning. Yeah. His kryptonite, he should get alone. He should get into the Hall for being Tom Brady's kryptonite alone. No disrespect to Eli Manning, but he's beaten Tom Brady twice already in Super Bowl. I feel like he should be in there.
No, but I don't know. I was looking up a bunch of stuff before. A lot of people
everyone gets in the Hall anyway.
Not in the NFL. NFL one's hard.
Listen, you can't take Peyton. You don't let Eli in. It doesn't make you let both brothers in. You can't have one brother. Fair. It's not good for family chemistry. Eric. One of them's in and one of them's out. Okay,
but NFL Hall of Fame,
they're a package duo.
There's some absolute legends that will never make the NFL Hall of Fame. You have to be the top of the top, right? So I think Big Ben and Eli, they might squeeze in, right? But they're definitely not first ballot, not guarantees, right? So. But no, Big Ben's had a great career. If it ends like this, he's had a good career. Hopefully he ends with a win. And hey, hopefully we win this game because obviously I feel like if Lamar's good against us, I'm not gonna lie, he's quick, So I hope Lamar doesn't get to play this game and we get the win,
Yeah. That's great. You know what, that Eli, if you watch Monday Night Football with Payne and Eli, it's funny because Eli always roasts Payne relentlessly, and Payne just takes it. But this would be a good jab at his former brother. If Payne gets into the Hall, which he will, of course. And then if Eli doesn't get in, that'd be a funny jab. You'd have that over him for the rest of his life. And then next year, Monday Night Football, Payne gets back at the chirps with Eli. Guess who's not in the Hall? Not me. Sorry, Eli. Or not you. But Titans, Texans. Eric, Titans coming off a win 34-3 versus Dolphins. Eric, I had the Dolphins winning that game. Kind of embarrassing. Thought, it was too high on the Dolphins. They're officially eliminated from the postseason with that loss. Texans, big loss to the 49ers, 7-23. Well, not a big loss. Anyway, Eric, if the Titans beat the Texans, which they will, they're going to win the number 1 seed in the AFC. Yeah. Texans actually have beaten the Titans before this season. It's hard to imagine them doing it twice. Especially with the possibility, Eric, this is going to scare all AFC clubs. Derrick Henry, possible return coming soon. That should strike some fear in other AFC postseason clubs, especially the Bengals, who defend average against the run. But Derrick Henry, Eric, who went out in November. I forget with an 8 something tear, MCL or something that had him out for 6 to 10 weeks. Anyway, possible return. Will the Titans cover at 10.5? They're the favorites, under 10.5. Can they cover? Yeah, for sure. They can beat the Texans more than 11 points. However, who are they going to sit? Who are they going to bench? It all has implications near the end of the game. But I could see the Titans covering versus the Texans, even though they lost to them. I see it hard that it will happen again or be close. So Titans to cover is my bet versus Texans.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have
Same
to talk
here.
about it. We can move on.
Yeah,
Texans
I'll just say
stink.
Titans are
Titans are going to be either not the number 1 seed or the number 1 seed after this game.
Yeah. So yeah, Titans are going to be. I'm pretty sure they'll be number 1 seed. Not much to say. We can move on from this.
Yeah. Bengals Browns. My Bengals. Eric Moya, of course, wearing the jersey of Jamar, the Rookie of the Year Chase, who got 3 touchdowns, ran for like 400 yards. Just kidding. I got 200 and something, 60 something yards, 3 touchdowns. Had a big third down play to win us the game. Big catch, 3rd 10, I forget. He caught the ball. Then we were able to kick the field goal after. Man, Jamar Chase had his best game of the year, Eric, against the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 touchdowns, good for the hat trick. They face off against the Browns, who will face against the Steelers tonight. Browns are actually the favorites, Eric, going into this one because
wait, really?
Yeah, because people are pretty sure that Cincinnati will rest some of their players, especially Joe Burrow, who they don't want injured going into the playoffs, and with the O-line. So Cincinnati will probably rest their players. If so, oh my God, why is my voice? There it is. Sorry, some of those are going on with the mic. Cincinnati rest their players, depending on who, if Joe Burrow, some wide receivers, it's going to be hard for that whatever squad of Cincinnati Bengals players to score against the Browns defense, which is pretty good. It's going to be, it doesn't matter. This game really doesn't matter. Bengals are AFC North champs. I don't think they could finish any higher in the seedings. I believe they're 3rd right now, 10-6. Kansas is 11-5. If the Chiefs lose, they're 11-6. If the Bengals win, Eric, they're 11-6.
Yeah.
I think because they have the tiebreaker now that they can get the 2nd seed. Okay. So I think that's true. If the Bengals win and the Chiefs lose, Eric, Cincinnati becomes the number 2 seed. Kansas falls to the number 3rd seed. And then Bengals, who would be the number 2 seed, would face off against the Chargers right now if the playoffs were to start, who they lost to. So that's great. That's just fun to look forward to. But we don't know yet. But Bengals, Browns, this game doesn't really matter. Since he doesn't rest their players, I'm taking Cincinnati. If they rest their players near the second half, whatever, the Browns could win. It's a tough game to evaluate because players might come out. So right now I'm going to go with the Bengals winning because they're going to want to end their season off with a win against a division opponent. Why not? Don't know who's going to be in and out, but I'm sure they'll find a way to win. I'm not going against the Bengals, that's for sure.
Okay. No, that's fair. But the thing is, the Bengals are going to know ahead of time if the Chiefs won or not, right? So I feel like that might it might like have some involvement in if they're going to bench players or not. Because if Broncos win, they'll be like, okay, well, we're throwing everything at them, right? But if they don't, they can be like, I will. Because if the Chiefs win, they'll be like, okay, like can sit a couple guys. Probably won't matter that much. And even if the Chiefs win, this game doesn't really mean anything. But if they lose, I have Cincinnati winning 100%. If they don't, the outcome really doesn't matter. But I still have the Chiefs winning, even if they sit their players. I don't know. Chiefs this year been amazing. So, I don't think this game matters too much if the Chiefs win their game.
It's weird with the Chiefs because you said they've been amazing. They have been amazing.
I'm in Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm in Cincinnati.
So. Oh yeah, well, Chiefs, Cincinnati. Chiefs have been, at the start of the season, they look like a different team. A lot of question marks. Defense, wasn't that good. Offense was struggling. Then second half, the offense turns it around, and now near the end of the season, the defense has become stellar, except against the Bengals. Thank you very much. We're gonna knock on wood because I don't want to get bit in the ass if we play them again. But the Chiefs' defense has been amazing. Eric, this is something they have been lacking last year in the Super Bowl, especially. But even during that season, the defense was struggling. And Kansas City, even though they were a number 1 seed, they went to the Super Bowl. They were outscoring everyone. Their defense didn't matter. If you were on the defensive side of the ball in Kansas, it doesn't matter. Nobody really knows you unless you're the Badger, right? The Honey Badger. But really, it wasn't that big of a deal because, oh my God, okay, you gave up 25, 30 points. Doesn't matter. The Chiefs won by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. Flip the script into 2021. Defense is stellar. Offense is stellar. Chiefs, man, they're looking like a real Super Bowl threat. I had them as Super Bowl threats at the beginning of the season for good reasons. But now, where they looked slow at the beginning of the season, they're heating up, becoming one of the best team maybe in the league with that defense. So whoever faces the Chiefs in the first round, I bid you good luck. If they don't get the bye, because man, I wouldn't want to face that team right now, especially at home, because they played in Cincinnati and it was a close game. Wouldn't want to be in that atmosphere at Arrowhead Stadium. Is that what the stadium called still? Arrowhead Stadium. I don't even know. I think they changed. I don't even know. I've heard the name change. Anyway,
but that game was huge for Cincinnati, man. I was so when. Was it a little comeback, right,
out,
too?
Man. Oh my God, they were down by 14 points at one point.
So big that proved a lot for Cincinnati. That made them legit. If you can beat the Chiefs.
What did we say when we were talking about that game? I said both offenses are going to go toe to toe, high scoring offenses. But I said this is a prove it game for the Bengals. Like, this is your chance to prove to the rest of the AFC that like, listen, the Bengals aren't on some fluke year or whatever. This is a real deal team, and they proved that. So that's all I wanted. Nothing better than beating one of the best teams in the league and winning your division at the same time.
Yeah. But now I think about it, your Jamar Chase jersey that you got is kind of ballsy because at the beginning of the season, like a rookie, like you don't know if he's gonna be good. Like you never know with these. Like, don't forget Cincinnati.
But it was the LSU connection. It was the LSU connection. I had to do LSU.
Like Cincinnati. What was it 5-6 years ago now? They drafted John Ross, right? Huge, fastest time in the 40-yard dash. But no, he became a bust. Like, you never know, but it's crazy that he's actually one of the probably.
Bro, they had 2 wins last year.
Yeah. So that's crazy, man.
Bro, they brought. Listen, I'll have a video after this another time about the Bengals about our team seasons ending. But Bengals, they added a lot in the offseason area, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Trey Hendrickson was probably our biggest splash defensive wise. Ogunjobi, Mike Von Bell they added, which was a big addition too. A lot of Eli Apple's having some up and downs this season, but some good better ups than downs. Hopefully, going into the playoffs, that will continue. But Bengals versus Browns, Eric. Like you said, Chiefs will have an impact on Zach Taylor's decision to bench or keep. Yeah. So we'll have to look for that. But Bucks versus Panthers. Bucks 9.5 under 9.5 favorites. They've destroyed the Panthers before. Eric, they scored 0 points against the Saints. They destroy the Panthers, and guess what? Then their offense struggles against the Jets. And by the way, Antonio Brown, Eric, let's talk about that. Antonio Brown is no longer a Buck because, first of all, let's go through the whole situation. They're losing by a lot. Yeah. Andy Reid, this is Andy Reid. He's saying, he turned to Brown. He said, we need you in the game, blah, blah, blah. Get in there. And he says, Bruce Arians. Yeah. He says, we need you in the game. He says, I'm not healthy enough. I feel injured because he was dealing with ankle injury, I believe. Yeah, ankle injury it was. He wasn't really practicing. And he said, we need you in the game. And he said, no, I'm not injured. And he said, well, if you're not going to go in the game when we asked you to go, then don't be here. Just get off the side. Or we don't need you here. Or just go or something. And apparently in that moment, he was cut from the team. Like he said, we don't need you or something like that anyway. But then Antonio Brown threw all his stuff off, got angry, and left. Another story is that he had incentives that were almost going to be eclipsed. And, there's only 2 games left. And so him being benched, which he thought is a story going around that they benched him and he got pissed because he didn't get a chance to eclipse his incentives, which would have given him an extra hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever, millions in bonuses. And so that's how he got mad. But, Bruce Arians told us that story about him not wanting to go in. Antonio Brown says he felt not healthy enough. And so that's the case. And at first I was like, wow, Antonio Brown's a clown, whatever. And I still think he's a bit of a clown, but for coaches to force players to go into the game when they think their body isn't healthy, I mean, that's bad. That is bad. I'm on AB side with that. If he know your body, as like your own individual. You know how healthy you are. No one else can feel for you. If he says he's not healthy enough to go in, because of his ankle, whatever, and you're forcing him to say, well, listen, if you don't want to go in after we're forcing you because you don't feel healthy enough, to get out of here. We don't need you. That's a bit much. We don't know the extent,
exactly.
You don't know what Bruce Arians was thinking in his head, because Antonio Brown, big personality, a lot of controversy. Was Antonio Brown just, I don't want to go in because they were losing? Was he frustrated? Is that what was seen in Bruce Arians' eyes? Like, oh, you're just going to bullshit me with this injury stuff. Okay, just get out of here. That could be a possibility too. In the heat of the moment, you're losing versus the Jets. Your offense hasn't really been sparking all day. And this guy says, well, I'm not healthy to go back in. I could see where Bruce gets angry and he's like, oh, well, I don't need you here, whatever. Get out of here. But then Antonio Brown goes on and does that whole, takes off his stuff, runs on the field. That's what gets him cut. That's what gets not his refusal to play.
Exactly.
That's what gets him cut. But I can understand Antonio Brown's side of the story. But he's made a lot of bad choices in football. He used to be one of the best receivers in the league with the Steelers. And then his life is just, is it mental health? People are joking CTE. You don't really joke about that. But yeah, I think something's wrong with. He needs help. Tom Brady tried to give him the help. Tried to include him in his family, bring him to the team, but he didn't respond well. And so that's tough for seeing one of the star talents of the league now probably out of it. Like, I don't think anyone's going to re-sign him. Well, I don't know. But the saga is over for Antonio Brown, the NFL currently right now. But there's two sides of the story. I don't know which one you lean towards. I don't know which one I lean towards either.
Because I'm not gonna lie, either story does not make Antonio Brown sound that bad. Because even the other one with the incentives, if they did that, it's like, damn, like, why would you do that?
Well, it's still in that case, I wouldn't act, even then, I wouldn't act out.
He shouldn't have done that. Yeah, no, the acting is over dramatic for sure.
Yeah,
like the acting
where he just leaves and gives up on the team.
No, I know exactly. No, yeah, you can't defend that at all. It's just like the situation at first, like the over dramatic part. Like, maybe something happened. Like, there's like no one's perfect, right? Maybe incentives or not, or even if he told you to get on, but you didn't want to get on. Okay, whatever. But you never act like, I don't care. You don't act like that. You don't, especially for a professional. And I'm not gonna lie, like Antonio Brown, if there wasn't like his off, like all the extra drama around him, he'd probably be Hall of Famer for sure. Like pretty much guaranteed. He's one of the best wide receivers games. Definitely top 5. Just skill wise, he's definitely up there. This guy, like the career this guy's had, like, is amazing. But obviously with all the off court, like everything around him, all the drama, he probably most likely won't make it. So, I don't know. It's just, I feel bad because like with stuff like this, you don't know if there's definitely stuff going on in his head. You never know with this stuff. So it's usually the emotional stuff is like, you can't always blame that person, right? And but I understand the circumstances, but you still don't act like that. Like, I don't know, but he's a big personality. So I don't know. I don't think. Hey, he won a chip with them last year. He actually played really well in the Super Bowl.
And he was a big part of that. And people thought going into this year, he might be able to do the same thing, carry them, but be a huge impact in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs. But I mean, he is. He still was a good player for the Tampa. Even having him as a second, third receiver, you had Mike Evans there and Gronk, and you had Leonard Fournette. And when he comes back healthy, or no, he wasn't coming back healthy. But anyway, they had the I don't know how the other guy's running. Ronald Jones. I don't know how he's, but he was pretty good last year. I remember
he was good. He was good. Yeah.
So you have all these, power. You have tight end, whatever, wide receiver.
Yeah.
You have Antonio Brown as your second or third receiver. It's like, okay, the Bucs have a sneaky offense, which they did prove last year, but now this year, like that's a big piece of their offense gone.
Yeah.
Especially when the offense has been struggling so much.
Exactly. But I wonder how much it's going to affect them, right? Because Chris Godwin's out for the season too. Is he? Yeah, out for the season too. So, but like he's cut, right? Like he's gone. Like he's.
Oh yeah,
it's official.
He's done for the season for sure. I don't know about any other NFL teams picking it up next year, but he's done with the Bucs, as I know. Unless any surprises happen, he should be done for the year. But yeah, that's Antonio. Listen, I'm not going to shit on the guy. I'm not going to call him names.
Exactly.
Because I don't know what's going on with him. He made a bad decision. whatever story with Bruce Arians, if that's true, the healthy stuff, that's a bad look for Bruce Arians and coaches in the NFL, forcing players that, they come out and say, I can't go in. I'm not healthy. And you force him or, kick him off the team because of it. That's a bad look. Who knows if Bruce Arians kicked him off the team then, or it kicked him off after the whole debacle or the whole show that Antonio Brown gave. There's a lot of questions involved. We don't know the full story. People are saying, he got cut immediately on the sidelines and that's why he threw his stuff out. Or, he got cut after. I'm not sure which one it is. But, basically there was this clear message that he was off the team during that time. And that's why he freaked out. But I don't know. Anyway, Bucks, they get shut out versus the Saints. They beat the Panthers. They struggle against the Jets, Eric. And guess what? They had the Panthers again. So Panthers are kind of like their rejuvenation for offense. They go in, then they destroy the Panthers and get their offense running. Same thing's going to happen. Bucks are going to win. They're going to cover under 9.5. Bucks are tied with the Rams. So if they win, Eric, and the Rams lose, they become the number 2 seed in the NFC, where the Rams will drop to number 3 right now. So that's what the Bucks have on the line for versus the Panthers. But well, we have to move on. So let's go to Pats versus Dolphins. Eric, Dolphins are out of the playoff. Pats trying to play for the AFC East title still. Going head to head versus the Bills. They're 10-6. The Bills, so are the Pats. So the Pats are going to cover. They're going to beat the Dolphins more by 6 points. Eric, is this the end of Tua's career in Miami? A lot of questions this season.
Wait, is that a question? Yeah.
A lot of. Remember, there was a lot of talk about him being traded to the Texans for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that
could still happen, Eric. There's been no closure to that. If he comes out, Dolphins are out of the playoff spots for sure. Is this the end into his career in Miami? Will they try and swindle a deal for Deshaun Watson, including Tua in that deal? We don't know. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins have been public about it, about the whole Deshaun Watson trade. They haven't declined it, whatever. They want Deshaun Watson. And whenever that whole case thing, if it's true, if it's not true, whenever he becomes available legally, if he does, I think Dolphins will be looking at him for sure. And it could be the end of Tua. It could be. They didn't make the playoffs. They started 1-7. They were on fire the last game. So that could be a building block. Who knows what decision they take though?
But no. Hey, the Dolphins are a good team. Like obviously, even last year they're a decent team. Also, they started picking up with Fitzpatrick too. But even this year, hey, Tua's made some jumps. He's getting better, right? He's still young. But it's crazy to think like only after 2 seasons you'd think about trading such a young player. And think about moving him already. And the thing with Tua was when he got drafted, it was injuries, right? He could have gone first, but it was always injuries, right? So he's healthy right now. He's looking, he's not like spectacular. He's still looking decent though. Like the chemistry between him and Jalen Waddle is really good. They have really good chemistry. They won a 7-game winning streak. Obviously, they had their 7-game losing streak too. But hey, I don't think not making the playoffs should mean like, I feel like I'd rather have Tua on my
give
team
him another chance.
Yeah, but does he like? It's not like he failed.
It's tough though. It not that he failed. It's just like in the NFL, like they're quick to move on from things.
Yeah,
like
that's QBs,
what because they know like they got a draft where they got this guy they're looking at and he's we like him better than you. Like we're gonna trade you and draft. It's quick, man. Like QBs line up every year. And so that's the thing. If Tua's not working out in Miami and they're like, okay, well, let's swindle a deal for Deshaun Watson, who has proven he is an elite quarterback in this league. Before all the scandals and stuff like that. And if he comes back, he'll still be one of those elite quarterbacks in the league, right? And on a team like Miami, could he do some damage? Yeah, I could see Deshaun Watson and the Miami Dolphins are really working out. So that's why they'll be like, well, we can't miss up on this opportunity and stuff like that. And that's why you're speaking of Jalen Waddle. This is actually an Alabama rivalry, Eric. Mac Jones versus his former receiver teammate, Jalen Waddle, for those who didn't know. So there'll be a little Alabama rivalry in this one. And Bill Belichick has already lost to a division opponent last week in the Bill or 2 weeks ago in the Bills. So he's not going to want to do it again against the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Pats to win. And we'll see if the Bills win their game, because if the Pats win, the Bills lose. They're first in the AFC East. They win the division title, pushes the Bills in the wild card, Pats in the top 4 seeding. But we'll see with the Bills as we move on to the Saints and Falcons. Saints under 4.5 favorites versus the Falcons. Saints make the playoffs, Eric, if they beat the Falcons and the Rams. The Rams
No.
beat the 49ers. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's because it's 49. Yeah.
Yeah. So Saints make the playoffs if they beat the Falcons and
Ooh.
Rams beat the 49ers. So
Okay.
this like Sean Payne has give kudos to Sean Payne this season. Great coach, keeps proving it. Saints are fighting for the playoff spot, Eric. After
Yeah.
all the injuries they've
Yeah.
had this season, their starting
Yeah.
quarterback, Taysom Hill, who's a versatile player, doesn't play quarterback in this league, but he has played snaps at it. Had to play for most of the rest of the season, basically. Alvin Kamara has been out of sorts. He hasn't had a true number one quarterback by his side all season long. So his numbers have taken a drop with Taysom Hill alongside him. This is a big game. I think Sean Payne will have his team ready because they know what's at stake. So I'm going to take the Saints over the Falcons, who have no reason. I mean, they could play spoilers, whatever, but really no implications for them to make the playoffs or anything. So I'm going to say the Saints come out ready for this one. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill are going to have to figure it out in this game because, like I said, Alvin Kamara's numbers haven't looked so great with Taysom Hill. But those two got to figure it out in this game, especially because to make the playoffs, got to beat the Falcons. Got to hope the Rams beat the 49ers, which they can't. Which they can do, Eric. The Rams they're favorites to beat the 49ers. So let's go, Saints. You have a chance to make the playoffs. Go out there, beat the Falcons, who aren't good, better team than. Sean Payne will have those guys ready. I'm telling you. I'm taking the Saints.
No, exactly. Yeah, I have the Saints. I actually have the Saints making the playoffs, which is kind of crazy.
It's very possible.
We'll talk about the next matchup later. But because the Saints, I don't know, they still have like they don't even know who's their QB. Like they still have a lot to figure out, right? But no, I have the Saints winning this one. Falcons, I don't think Falcons are in this weird position once again, like they've been in the last couple of years. I think Saints got this win. I don't know if we're talking about, but I think for the next game, the Rams, I'm gonna have the Rams beating the Falcons. So if I had to bet, I actually have the Saints making the playoffs, which is, I don't know. I feel like there's a better chance of that happening than them not making the playoffs. So I don't know, but I
can see that. It's a lot to go. They have two things that must happen. That's why their odds are probably not looking good. But don't look at the odds specifically. Just go one matchup at a time.
Exactly. Go one matchup at a time.
Saints got to beat the Falcons, doable. And then 49ers just got to lose to the Rams, which is very
the games are actually
too.
The games are at the same time too. So it's going to be interesting to see.
And 49ers, who we're going to talk about with the Rams right now, we don't know who's going to be the starting QB, if it's Trey Lance or Jimmy G. But Seahawks versus Cards, Eric. Arizona needs a win and a Rams loss to win the division because they've split the regular matchups between the Rams and Cardinals. Seahawks destroyed the Lions. Their offense looks like to be taking shape. Arizona coming off a huge win, Eric, versus the Cowboys. They needed that win, even to be considered in the for the division. But yeah, I'm going to take the Cards at home. Like I'm saying, Seahawks could play sport. This could be a game that the Seahawks can steal from the Cardinals there because the Seahawks are playing a lot better. I mean, they did play the Lions. They did blow them out, so don't take it too into consideration. But Seahawks, are offense definitely looking better. But I'm going to go with the Cards because Kyler Murray's what? He's still undefeated, healthy starting quarterback or something like that. Or
okay.
How many games did they lose without Kyler Murray? Or no, he might not be undefeated. I'm not sure anymore. But they lost fight. He might be undefeated. But you might be undefeated. Seahawks, Cards. I'm gonna take Arizona at home because they have a chance of winning the division.
Okay. Yeah. Same here. I have the Cards winning, but hey, Seahawks they're not here to tank. Like, they're not here to tank. Like Pete Carroll, like that's not like they don't care about picks. Like they just care about winning, right?
Yeah.
So even if they're out of the playoffs, I still think they're gonna put up a battle, but I think this game means more for the Cardinals than it does for Seahawks. And I just think is Kyler Murray's playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so with Kyler Murray playing, D-Hop's not supposed to be back yet. So yeah, I still think they're gonna win, but just with the fact they have Kyler Murray, I have them winning.
Yeah, that was a tough game because Seahawks, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Cards. Really, wouldn't be surprised at all. 49ers versus Rams. Yeah. This one's big. 49ers, big. Eric, QB question mark. Trey Lance played against the Texans, Eric. Threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did not look perfect, but did his job. Jimmy G still injured. Even if he comes back, how healthy will he be? Will he be 100%? We don't know. Rams win the division title, Eric, if they beat the 49ers. We know that. The Rams, the thing with the Rams right now is their offense, like Matthew Stafford at first was like shocking, surprising people because he was in Detroit and then LA. Look at his number. Oh my God, Matthew Stafford. However, now near the second half, even near the end of the season, he hasn't really shocked anyone. Not really. this is kind of the Matthew Stafford, I guess we're getting. But their offense, even against the Ravens, Eric, it just wasn't there. I mean, the Ravens would probably have beaten the Rams if they were healthy. If Lamar Jackson was playing, I take the Ravens to beat the Rams in that game because
1-1, yeah.
Rams didn't play well at all. Their offense didn't play well, and the Ravens almost beat them with Tyler Huntley starting. So that's his name, right? Tyler Huntley. Yeah, Tyler Huntley. So that's why Rams it didn't look great, but I'm gonna take the Rams in this one. I think I could see the 49ers. I'm saying it's just the QB question mark. Trey Lance starts. Man, that's gonna be what a start that would be for him against the Rams. Against look at those defensive guys. You're gonna have. Oh my God,
Jalen Ramsey,
Von Miller, Aaron Donald. Yeah, thank you. Those guys literally looking at you, and it could be intimidating. And Jimmy G, he's injured. We don't know how healthy he'd be if he even started. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Matthew Stafford in the offense. This is a big week. They got to get going here. They go into the playoffs the way they're playing, Eric. They're gonna get bounced in the first round, and that'd be a big upset. So they got to get going. They got to figure it out this week.
No, because the thing is, I feel like the Rams, they have to look at this game as a playoff game, right? Because the 49ers are going to throw everything at them, right? So the Rams, if you want to make it far in the playoffs, you have to win this game. You have to start winning. You need Matthew Stafford. I believe in Matthew Stafford. Last couple of games hasn't really been good. Hasn't starting to show his Detroit side, But I think now playoffs. I want to see. Hey, if you want to be considered one of the best QBs, everyone's been like, oh, you play for Detroit. No excuses now. You're gonna make the playoffs for the first time in a couple of years, but now you got to show that you can be that guy. You're not just everyone who's ever said, "Oh, Matthew Stafford's underrated," because
this is the first time he's making the playoffs in more than a couple of years.
So it's the first time. This is the first time that he has pressure on him. People are like, "Okay, let's see what you can do." So I want to see what he can do. I know he's gonna be able to do amazing. So. This game is big for him, man. If they get this win, they have a chance. Do they have a chance of getting the bye or no?
Division.
Packers lose.
That I'm not sure of. I don't think so. I think that's what I was looking at too. And then I don't think these two have played before. Green Bay and LA. I don't think they played each other. And so then it goes to their points, but they'll be tied. And then it goes to, I think, their points in their each division, how well they did against their own division opponents. And then if that's tied or whatever goes in the conference, I'm not sure. But I think Packers might be good for the div title. But this is big because if 49ers win, they're in the playoffs, the 49ers.
Yeah.
And if the Saints lose, they're in. So 49ers still have some stuff to play for sure to get into the playoffs. Number one, that's a big one. And so, but the question is the QB. Are they going to trust the young rookie Trey Lance, or are they going to put a 70%, 80% healthy Jimmy G in there to get the job done? We don't know.
Exactly.
But I'm going to take the Rams because I think even though the 49ers are trying to make the playoffs, this is a big week for the Rams offense to get it figured out because they know if they go into the playoffs the way they've been playing on offense, Eric, that first round team's going to beat them. Yeah, it's going to beat them. So they got to figure it out. Chargers Raiders Sunday night game, the elimination game, Eric. There will be a team eliminated. Chargers under 3 favorites. Raiders came off a huge win at home versus Indianapolis. Neither QB has been great this season. Which version will we get? ? Chargers Justin Herbert, Raiders Derek Carr. Neither of them have been perfect. Which version of them are we going to get? Which version of the season are we going to get? Eric, for the Raiders to win, in my eyes, they got to run the ball. They got to run the ball with Josh Jacobs, but he's injured. Josh Jacobs is out. We don't know if he's going to be playing in this week, Eric. He's healthy or if he's not healthy. We have no sure. He's questionable. So the thing about the Raiders, though, what they were doing was running the ball with Josh Jacobs. Chargers, not so much of a good run defense or rush defense, Eric. So that would be a way to exploit them. If the Colts lose to the Jags, Eric, this is a bonker seating fact. This is a crazy fact. Listen to this. If the Colts lose to the Jags, Chargers and the Raiders game ends in a tie, then they both get in, the Colts get out. Chargers, Eric, are 30th in rush defense this year. Yeah. They're allowing 136.7 yards per game to the opposing running back. So that could be a way for the Raiders to win. Run the ball. However, Josh Jacobs, uncertainty, injury. We don't know. But yeah, I was about to tell you before you light up. Colts lose to the Jags. The Colts lose to the Jags, and the Chargers Raider game, Eric, ends in a tie. That means the Colts bounce from playoffs, and the Chargers and Raiders take the last 2 seeds because they both have a better record.
Okay,
so that's a crazy little fact.
Yeah.
That I saw, but yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, Chargers, they're away. The Raiders are at home. This is a big game because whoever wins this gets in. I'm going to take the Chargers, Eric. I'm going to take the aggression of Herbert and Staley versus the conservative Carr and Rich Bisaccia. If that's even how you spell his name. The new, but first of all, the new coach for the Raiders, Rich Bisaccia. He's Italian, I think. Anyway, this would be crazy for the Raiders to get in because, mind you, what they've gone through. John Gruden, those first 3 games. Henry Ruggs, those off the field implications. This would be kind of crazy for them to make the playoffs. It'd be like I would love to see them make the playoffs, but I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Justin, that would be like Brandon Staley's job could be on the line. Chargers were Eric, man. I was so high on the Chargers this year. Justin Herbert's so high on them. And now if they miss the playoffs, Eric, this is a bad look for Los Angeles. Bad look for Brandon Staley. They got to win this game because they got to get in. Because if you're in, you're in. It doesn't matter. A football game at the end of the day, it's one game, Eric. You face one opponent, you face them one time. So that's it. You got to get in, though. So I'm going to say, for me, the Chargers, there's way more on the line for the Chargers to get in. Way more for the franchise, the fan base compared to the Raiders. So I'm going to say the aggression of Herbert and Staley is going to be too much for the Raiders.
Okay. No, but I don't know where to go here. But I'm telling you, this is what sports are all about. Making that the last game, like this way, like whoever wins this game makes the playoffs, basically. Obviously, there's a little more, but like that's basically what it is. You're going to go into this game. Whoever wins making the playoffs, especially for Justin Herbert, it's a huge game, right? This is his first time.
Yeah.
He has a lot of potential, right? Want to see if he can make the playoffs. A lot of hype going into this season. He's been good, right? But he hasn't obviously to make that next step. He's got to make the playoffs. But on the other side, you have Derek Carr, who rarely makes the playoffs. Been a very consistent quarterback, but hasn't taken that next step. So this is if he can make the playoffs here, this is the next step, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we talk about John Gruden, we talk about Henry Ruggs, even like Madden. Madden was their coach there for I think like a decade there, and I won a chip for them. So like they have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff again. Like they have Josh Jacobs uncertainty, but I don't know, man. If I had to bet on this, I'll take the underdog. I think Raiders might be able to pull one off here, really close though, because I don't know how much I trust Justin Herbert. Like I understand it's a very good quarterback, but I don't know. I don't know if he has because I'm not gonna lie. Derek Carr, he's got a little swagger to him. Like, he's a little clutch. I don't know what it is.
Listen, that's out of you say consistent. Derek Carr's been so consistent.
No, he hasn't. But
when you first said consistent in my ears, like I know what you mean though. Listen, I'm gonna say it because he hasn't been consistent this year, but I know what you mean about consistent quarterback. Like he's a guy who's proven he's won in the NFL. He can win in the NFL. Is he going to be the guy to take you the next step in the playoffs? No. Can he be a guy that pushes you in the playoffs? Maybe keep you competitive. Yes, consistent in that way for sure. Derek Carr, 100%. If he had a better team in front of him, he could do damage.
Exactly.
Chargers. It's tough to evaluate Justin Herbert like you just said because this is what his second year in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been great though. I think he has been inconsistent at times, but I think this is way more on the coach. He was better last year, Eric. With like Brandon Staley was supposed to come in. I mean, he's a defensive-minded coach. Their defense is supposed to get better. I guess Justin Herbert was naturally supposed to take that next step, right, as a second-year QB. But he did better last year with a coach that people thought was the problem, and Brandon Staley came in. But then this year he's doing worse with the coach that people thought was the solution. And now we're at this weird point where, is Justin Herbert? No, nothing's wrong with Justin Herbert. He's a young quarterback, young stud. He's going to be a great quarterback for years to come. It's just this team has been inconsistent. The coaching staff has been inconsistent. Man, just keep it simple with the Chargers. You're facing off against the Raiders. Run the ball with Austin Eckler. He's one of your best players. Justin Herbert has the ability to throw bombs down the field. Just make sure to keep it clean, Chris. Don't overthink it because the Raiders most likely are gonna they're probably freaking out. Josh Jacobs out. They're already limited to win the game. Their run game has already taken a huge hit. So, you just gotta come out here. Defense got to do their job.
No, it's mostly the Chargers defense, man.
Chargers defense. I'm saying they got to do their job because I think they're going to outscore the Raiders, in my opinion. I don't think they'll be able to keep up, but Chargers defense got to step up. But I think the offense will get it done. The aggression of those two will get it over the conservative other two. So I'm going to take the Chargers to make the playoffs Fortunately, Raiders, not your year. Never was. But Eric, that will be it for the NFL Week 18 predictions. Next week will be the week or the division matchups. However, quickly now, this will probably be a clip. We got to talk about UFC Vegas 45 featherweight matchup between Calvin Kattar and Giga Chikadze, number 5 seed versus number 8 seed. Eric, let me just break it down for the folks. You jump into it. Kattar has taken a year off after his brutal beatdown. Brutal beatdown versus Max Holloway. Got destroyed. Eric, he took 445 punches against Max Holloway. Just to put the things in perspective, Ortega's fight versus Holloway, which is also a beatdown, took 290. So there you go. A little question. In my opinion, I'm going to go off quick. Giga's defense, takedown defense is just, it's great. It's too good. Versus guys like Cub Swanson, Edson Barbosa. These are guys he's beaten because he wasn't being able to take down or get taken down to the ground. Sorry. And then just outclass the guys striking, basically. So, and those are some of the best wins against some high level opponents, Cub Swanson, Edson Barbosa. So when you can't take him down, Giga, there's going to be some problems on the feet. And we know that he's a big guy who throws a lot of kicks. Kattar keeps his gear or his guard up high, very high near his face, stuff like that. So he leaves his ribs, his gut exposed. I think Giga's going to take advantage of that, kick the shit out of him. And he's got KO power, but his kicks, like I said, they're the main thing. He's going to want to utilize them. And Kattar doesn't do well with kicks because, like I said, that guard is way too high, and he's gotten his ass kicked. Who knows? This is not going to be some comeback that Brian Ortega had versus Volkanovski there, where he looked way better, or against the Korean Zombie, where he got beat down by Holloway and then had a fantastic output against the Korean Zombie. This is going to be different. Kattar got his ass beat by Max Holloway, 445. Will it be the same against Giga? No, definitely not. No. But I still think he's going to lose this one. He won't get to the ground, and I think it's going to be a split decision for Kattar. I think Kattar is going to win the first 3.
Wait, split decision.
Sorry. Giga, split decision for Giga Chikadze. I think he's going to win the first 3, and then probably slow down in the last 2 and lose. Okay, split decision.
No, very fair assessment, very well analyzed. The thing with this, Giga, he's on a 7-fight win streak right now. Looked amazing, rising the ranks right now. Just beat Edson Barbosa and KO. The thing is, this matchup, it's a boxer versus a striker, right? So obviously we have Kattar, who at that point was one of the best boxers in the UFC at featherweight. Max Holloway just proved that, just destroyed him. But no, what I like about Giga is he's 6 foot. He's got that reach, and the way he fights is very loose. It's kind of like Adesanya, but I think he's a little more mobile, right? Because he's 145, so he's quicker and stuff. So Giga, he's rising up the ranks. If he beats Kattar, which I think he will by unanimous decision, because Kattar is too. He's not going down. This guy, bro, he got punched 445 times at Max Holloway. Who he's not Max Holloway is a pretty strong puncher, but he's not the strongest. But
he's an effective boxer.
Yeah, he's an effective boxer. So
high volume.
But I could see Giga kick him really hard and then just maybe gain a stoppage here. But
you're gonna see in the fight, if it goes 5 rounds, his fucking belly, his ribs are gonna be bruised because his guard, the way he fights, is always up here. He doesn't want to get knocked out. He doesn't want his chin, whatever. And he can take punches. It's been proven against Max Holloway. But unless I don't know how he's gonna do it, because he won't take him down. They're gonna have to fight on the ground or on the feet, and his ribs and guys are gonna get the shit kicked out of them because Giga loves to throw kicks.
No, this is a very favorable matchup for Giga. The only I'm telling you, if Giga gets past Kattar, which is it's a step up, right? Because Edson Barbosa was a step up too. Now it's an even higher step up.
Ortega next.
That's what I was gonna say. Ortega should be next. You have a guy that can take you to the ground, and who also very experienced, and Ortega is literally, so I see it as Holloway and Volkanovski in the top tier, right? S tier, and then you have Ortega right below, obviously not on the same level, but Ortega, he could submit anyone. He showed it against Volkanovski. That fight was crazy. I love talking about that. That fight was ridiculous. That was amazing. But yeah, so if Giga wins this fight, you fight Ortega, and then winner of that gets the title shot, maybe something like that, right? So that'd be amazing. But hey, you can't look past Qatar. Qatar is still a beast. The thing is, Qatar, I think people hyped him up a little too much. Like against Holloway, I don't think he really stood a chance, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there was really a chance he was going to win. Just because his resume, he beat Dan Ige by decision, and then beat Jeremy Stevens, who everyone beats Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
And lost as a beat before, and like it's not like he was like Giga, like he's right, like he's on a 7-fight win streak, destroy people, KOs, right? Everything showing like there's potential there. He's still young, so I think Giga takes this fight, but it's gonna be a decision. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a decision because just because Qatar, this guy's a beast. He's not got punched for. I don't think people understand 445 significant strikes. So that means like,
and he got rocked in the 5th round too.
Yeah, he got rocked in the 5th round. Like, and he, my 445. Like, if there's a fight that goes like 150, that's still a ridiculous.
And
fight,
people like Ortega, where the people are like, "Holy shit, this guy got his ass kicked." 290. Yeah. That's still like that's still like 150 something strikes difference.
Bro, this guy got punched 200 times in one round. In round.
Well, I don't think they're all significant. Definitely not significant strikes, but
is it
still
not
400? Well, no, 400.
Okay,
I don't think it's 445 significant strikes.
Is it 445 but like landed strikes? Landed strikes.
209. Ortega got 209 punches. Like, that's a big difference. Qatar's not going to get knocked out. That's why his chin's too iron. Yeah. It will go to decision, and Giga, I think, will take it.
Yeah, same here. If there's a bet,
majority split, I don't know. I think he's going to win majority of the rounds, though, for sure.
Fair. So
it could be a majority decision. But yeah, for next, Max Holloway faces off against Volkanovski again. I think that's the next fight.
Yeah, so that's the fight you have to make. Don't forget, Yair Rodriguez showed a lot against Max Holloway. He should definitely be in the picture too. But the thing is, Max Holloway, like, obviously he lost. Like, you say lost, we say lost twice against Volkanovski, but it's not really losses. Yeah. It's like the second fight Max could have won, right? So it's things like that. It's like I don't mind seeing a third fight because Max proven himself. Max fights all the time, fights 2 to 3 times a year, been consistent. He'll fight. Everyone knows Max is a fight. Like, no one, he's not scared of anyone. Like, he'll fight anyone, So the thing with Max is, I think if there's a trilogy, he's got this in the bag. Like, he's beating Yair, he beat Qatar, So, and he outboxed him, right? So, and I don't think Volkanovski's gonna. The fight's probably gonna go similar, but I hope Max Holloway this time comes with a different approach, right? Maybe like things will go different, and I hope he gets that belt back. But no, this division's featherweight is definitely very interesting. A lot of good fighters, a lot of big names, and we can even have like Dan Hooker coming down the division, Korean Zombie still in there.
Well, I mean, like, listen, Max Holloway probably fight Volkanovski. Ortega fights the winner of this fight coming up. Calvin Kattar versus Chikaze.
Yeah.
Korean Zombie probably fights Arnold Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh Emmett. That leaves Josh Emmett. Yeah. Danny Gage's Giga's fighting. Edson. So probably against Bryce Mitchell, which is kind of a boring fight.
But Yair Rodriguez in there too.
I don't know who Yair is going to fight. Yair Rodriguez, who he's going to fight. But I think that's the next few fights here in the featherweight. I think But a lot of interesting stuff happening. But that's UFC Vegas 45, January 15th. Make sure to tune in on that. It's going to be a good fight. But thank you so much for listening or watching if you were on YouTube to the Chtib and Zhang show. It's been episode 53. Next week, division playoff matchups in the NFL. So stay tuned for our predictions and bets. But thanks again. And everyone, take care. See you in the next episode. Roll it.